Tara Troopers, it's me, Tara. We're going to talk about Farmer Wants a Wife. But make sure that you leave a like, leave a comment. Let's get those views up. Tell me how cool I am. Spread hugs, love, and laughter. Go to my website, thetaraerickson.com. That is where I have Dead Moms Club gear that I designed, as well as Dead Dads Club and a bunch of other things. That's another way you can support the channel, along with Patreon. Go support the channel over there. I would appreciate it. Okay, so we got to talk about Farmer Wants a Wife. Okay, so the latest episode is that they're like, okay, we're going camping, and like they all go camping together, right? All the guys, all the girls, whatever. So before they leave, obviously everybody's upset that John brought the Italian chef Giuliano back. And when he's like having a one-on-one with the guys, he's like, you know, she studied food in Italy, which is like super cool. But he didn't say like, I really like her as a person. I think he just thinks she's cool because she's a chef. So I thought it was a little odd the way that he was talking to her with the guys. And it was hilarious that Colton was like, so, you know, we've kissed the girls, you guys haven't. And Matt was like, yeah, you know, I'm just going to wait. And I'm like, I don't even know if he's ever going to kiss any of the girls. Except stuff does change in this episode, which is good. So they get to the camping thing, right? There's one pickup with Claire. Claire is with John, right? And she's like, I haven't gotten to hang out with him outside of a group setting. And I was like, what? That's wackadoo. Also, I'm like, you've been here a while. Why wouldn't you just like pull him and be like, hey, we have to talk. Like, this is weird. I know we're on a show, but I haven't even gotten any one-on-one time with you. And if we don't at least have a conversation, I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna get out of here. I thought that was so odd. So, sorry, y'all, my hair and these headphones. Good Lord. So anyway, John does actually finally pull Claire, and he says, I like somebody who thinks opposite from me. Like, I think we have a connection. I like you. I like that we're not totally like the same. So how would you like sticking around? And she's like, yeah, I'd really like it. But then later he pulls, oh God, what is her name? He pulls Lily. John pulls Lily to tell her how much he likes her, and they kiss. She gets the first kiss, Lily. And all he says, he goes, I'm trying to show more emotion. And she's like, yeah, I would really like it. You know, I do. Lily goes on this thing. Like she talks for like a good 2 minutes. She's like, and I'm really liking where we're going, you know, and I really like you. And I think you're hilarious. You make me laugh. You're super handsome. And then John just goes, yeah, I'm trying to emote more. And so, I just want you to know, I do really like you. And that's it. He ends it at that, just stares at her. And then she's like, yeah, I like you too. As she just said, that's literally all he said. He just says, I like you. And then they smooch. He goes in for the kiss. That's his first kiss. It's with Lily. But I'm like, bro, where are the words? Like, be like, I think you're beautiful and smart. I've had a spark with you. I think maybe he did say, I know we've had a spark from the top. At least he said that to the camera. He's like, me and Lily have had a spark initially, which I didn't know. I didn't know that. I haven't seen it on camera. So I was glad that he finally made a move, but I still was like, that's all you're just like, I do like you a lot. That's all he said. Lily said all these nice things. It could be an editing ploy. I doubt it though. I really do. But once Kaylee sees that that's happening, she starts crying, and she's like, should I leave? Should I just like leave? I'll just do it on my own. She pulls him for a chat, and we all know that she initially said, it's hard for me to see John with other girls. I wish that he would be affectionate with me. So it's like she wanted that. But when she pulls him for a chat, she goes, yeah, this isn't it. And then he doesn't say anything. And she goes, yeah, it's like, I never look at you and just think like, I love him so much. And then he still doesn't say anything. And he just goes, yeah, I don't think like we're a good match or something. And she's like, mm-hmm. So anyway, she gives him a hug and she leaves. But I thought it was so funny that she was like, I have never looked at you and thought, I love him so much. And I'm like, yeah, you just really liked him. He didn't give her enough attention. Obviously, it's not the right match. Let's move on. Which I'm glad that she did that. I'm like, yeah, that's smart, Kaylee. I don't know why some of these other girls are like still wasting their time. I'd be like, I'm out. Like, if you're not getting a clear on full vibe from the guy, bye-bye, you know? And then he chooses Claire on the final date, and Juliana is mad. She's like, why am I here? So here's the thing. Claire has gotten a talk, not a kiss though, in the beginning, but Lily is the first one to get a kiss, right? And he basically lays it down that he really likes Lily. So I'm surprised to see what he's going to do with Claire on the solo date. Because right now I'm like, Lily seems way far ahead. And I feel like in the next episode, Juliana must be like, I gotta go, right? Like, because she said, if I don't get the solo date, I don't know why I'm here. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Why did he bring you back? You haven't really had much time with him. So I don't blame her. I'd get out of there. So at the end of the last episode with Jay, right, he brings Rissa back, and Karina is like, I'm hot. She is so mad. And she tells him, she's just like, I'm just hot. Like, I need time to cool down. And he looks at Grace, and Grace is like, no, I'm good. And he's like, but are you really? He pulls her for a chat. And you can just see it when he's talking to Grace and when Grace looks at him, that like, you can just sort of feel it with them. I just feel like they're an adorable couple. And whenever he is with Grace, I feel like she brings out a different side of Jay. I just feel like you can't deny it. But then, you know, he takes Rissa on the solo date, which I'm like, I'm not surprised, because he's like, I felt like my mama chose well and all this. And I'm like, yeah, you know, Rissa is very good looking and he hasn't spent enough time with her. So it would only make sense that he would take her. Right. But Karina was very honest with him in saying that she's sort of annoyed that he brought her back and she's not quite sure where they stand. I don't blame her. I think he's doing the right thing versus like John brought Juliana back and doesn't take her on the solo date. And I'm like, why'd you bring her back, bro? You know what I mean? I didn't get it. But anyway, you know, in the beginning, we'll move on to Matt, because Alexandra, remember, she went on a date with him. She's like, I just want him to show me more affection and pursue me. And Matt doesn't do that with any of them. So he finally pulls her aside, and it's so hard to like get it out of his mouth. He's like, what does he say? He basically just like ends it. Did I write anything down about it? No, I just was like, she wants Matt to give her more affection. And then he goes and he pulls her and he's like, I don't want to waste your time and blah, blah, blah. And she looks like she's about to cry. Like he is talking the whole time and he's like, I don't know what he says. He's like, you know, I think you're a great girl, whatever he's saying. And she just keeps like looking at him like, but looking up like at his cowboy hat, because I feel like she's just trying to fight back tears. And then she says like, yeah, I feel the same. I don't think it's it. I don't know whether I believe her or not, because I feel like she was just like, I need him to show me more affection or I need to go. So I'm not sure if she really was in the same place of being like, yeah, I should go. We don't make a great match. If she really thought that until he said it, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell. But she said that, like, Matt is hard to read and he's treating all of them like friends, which he is. He's treating like every girl like a friend, which is why they're all like annoyed, But then he makes this move where he pulls Chelsea and he tells her, hey, I just want you to know I really like you, and brings her this little cake for her birthday. And he says, I think you really match me, and I got a crush on you. And I was like, what? He says all of that. And Chelsea literally says, really? Because he is so hard to read. He hadn't said anything. So he finally tells it to Chelsea, which is good because, at least she knows now, because she very honestly asked when he goes, I just want you to know, I really like you. And she's like, really? I just thought it was funny how shocked she was. I'm like, yeah, this is why you need to like communicate, And in his one-on-one, Matt goes, every time I tell her how I feel, she reciprocates with Chelsea. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's called communication. That's just called having a conversation. You tell somebody something honest. You be vulnerable with them. You tell them you like them. And you see what they give you back. You don't just like wander around like a stone wall for weeks and then like let it out. And the girl goes, really? Because she had no idea. And I foresee, I hope it's not, but I foresee that to be a problem in the future. Meaning if they were to be in a relationship and he's that bad at communicating and showing how he feels, there's going to be some bumps in the road for him. I'll tell you that much. So anyway, he chooses Chelsea for the solo date. And obviously that makes the girls kind of upset because he's already spent a lot of time with Chelsea. So the girl from Nashville and somebody else is like left behind, and they're kind of like feeling a little off. Right. And I don't blame them because, yeah, he could have, I guess, chosen someone else who he didn't spend time with today. But I feel like he has a really good connection with Chelsea. Maybe just needs to see if he knows more. It was Haley. Haley was really surprised by that. And I think she was the one that said, I need to talk to him before he leaves. And I think she's going to leave. Like, unless he gives her a huge reassurance, she's going to walk out, which I don't blame her. I'm like, okay. Because she said, I was very confused that he chose Chelsea. And I'm like, yeah, because he's wandering around like a stone wall who doesn't share anything. He's just treating you guys like friends. So everyone is shocked. And I'm sure they'll be shocked to see the footage of him going, I really like you. I have a crush on you, to Chelsea. And Chelsea going, what? Like, really? Like, I have a crush on you too. But she had no idea. So there's something missing there, with Matt and communication level wise. So I don't know, but Colton pulls. Let's move on to Colton. Colton, he wants to kiss them all. I call him the Mono King jokingly. But when he pulls Hope aside, we all know that he's probably going to send her home, right? They haven't had much time together. But the way that he says it, he just goes, I don't think that I can make you happy. And I know that I won't be happy. And I literally can't. And I was like, did he just say, I can't? And I'm like, bro, let her down a little easier. Except she just goes, yeah, I get it. No problem. And she gives him a hug. And then, of course, in her one-on-one, she's like, I'm shocked. And she's surprised that he sends her home. So I felt like bad for her. And then I'm also thinking Hope may be a little in her own world because she says, I'm very surprised. And, when guys get scared or they find something they like, they run. I don't think that's what he's doing right now. I don't think that he's like, I am so scared to fall in love with Hope, so I'm going to run. I think he was just like, Hope's not it. I like the other girls more. And I know that sounds like mean. I was so surprised that Hope wasn't it's like she wasn't imputing into her brain the information that he was giving her, that he was like, you probably wouldn't make me happy. I don't think I can make you happy. It's just not a good match. Right. But she's literally like, when guys get scared, they run. And I'm like, oh, I wish that I had an ounce of that optimism, because I would just be like, yeah, okay, doesn't like me. I'm the worst. I'll see you guys later. And then I get over it in a day. And I'm like, I'm pretty cool, whatever, But yeah, not with Hope. Hope's got hope. She's hoping all around town. And I'm happy for her. I say, keep hoping, girl. And then, of course, Colton does like the cheesiest thing ever, where he's like, did you see that jumping fish? And then he pulls who's the girl, the anesthesiologist, in for a kiss. I forget her name. He pulls her in for a kiss, and Bailey kind of sees them getting close, and like she does not like it. And he doesn't, I don't think he really pulls Bailey. I don't think when they go camping. And then for his solo date, he chooses Keely because he says, I know I really like Bailey and I really like the anesthesiologist, but he's like, and Keely's cool, but like, I don't really know her. And I'm like, God, yeah, take her on the solo date, see where you land. I just feel like you would be able to tell at this point if it was like between Bailey, the anesthesiologist, and Keely, right? That I feel like the solo date with Keely could be a waste of time, because in the beginning of this episode, when he was talking to the guys, he was like, I really like Bailey and the anesthesiologist a lot. And he's like, and Keely's here too. And like, she's really cool. Like, that's all he said. So I'll be interested to see how that solo date goes. If like, I don't know, a spark happens and maybe he ends up really liking Keely. I don't know. I mean, there is, there is a chance that could happen, but I just think he's going to choose between Bailey and the anesthesiologist. And I feel like lately I'm thinking it might be the anesthesiologist. I don't know though, man. Here's what I get. I want your guys' opinion on it. Tell me who you think's like going to end up together. I think that Lily and John will end up together. And then I think I really do think Jay will end up with Grace. We'll have to see how the solo date goes with Rissa, but like I think he might end up with Grace. I think Matt will end up with Chelsea. And I think the other girls should just be like, bye. Because in this episode, the guy who was a past farmer on the show was like, yeah, I didn't kiss any of the girls. And then I kissed her. And he's talking about his wife. He's like, she was the one that got a kiss. And then that's how I knew how he felt. And right after that, Matt like pulls Chelsea and then he kisses her. So I'm like, I feel like Matt's going to end up with Chelsea. Of course, we don't really know. And I feel like Colton will end up with the anesthesiologist. But again, I don't know, but I want your thoughts. I want you guys to tell me, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, I think that's it. I love you guys. Remember, we spread hugs, love, and laughter here. Leave a like, leave a comment. Help me get the views up. Share the videos with your friends and family. Support me on Patreon. And all of the things. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one.